Welcome back, everyone, to the All Sports Network. Thank you to Tostitos for the video sponsor. So today we're going to be talking about the latest play-in games, which was Lakers versus Warriors, great game of the year, and then the Grizzlies versus Spurs. Yeah, I feel like we probably want to start with the Warriors and Lakers. Jack, what were your thoughts of the game?
It was an awesome game. We were fortunate to be able to watch it together. We tried to do a recap last night.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was a failed recording, but we were just like speechless. So we went, did some other things and just trying to like collect our thoughts about the game. And like I'm still kind of speechless on like I think we all thought it'd be like a good close game, but the fact that it was like that good and like LeBron and AD, their stats are pretty good, but they didn't really like show out. Curry put up 37 and like Wiggins put up 21, but really like no one else from the Warriors. Like Draymond was outstanding defensively last night, but no one else really scored the ball for them. It was kind of the same for the Lakers, so it truly was like the stars just going at each other. So it was just an awesome game. It felt like a playoff game. Pretty low scoring, a lot of missed shots, a lot of big time moments. LeBron obviously hit the clutch bucket and everything, but it couldn't have gone any better. Especially saying the games we got, the first playing games we got, like it was pretty tough for the like people that were really pushing for the play-in. When you get like the Hornets getting killed and you get the Wizards getting killed, but when you have a game like this, it definitely makes the argument and everything for the play-in game to stick. And like, that was really fun. We should keep this around.
No, yeah, I mean that was just such a great game. You know what's crazy though? So when I was sitting back last night and really just thinking about the game, watch the highlights and stuff, it occurred to me that if Draymond would actually just like hit a three or something, they might have actually just won the game.
Yeah, if they would have gotten more than 2 points from him, honestly, they really could. And that's like the cool thing about basketball. You could always just sit back and like, oh man, they would hit that one shot, or if he didn't miss that free throw in the first quarter, they would have won. It's just like the crazy, like I feel like it's probably the biggest what if sport, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but so hopefully Draymond's shooting comes back or something. Because he was like 0 for 5, I think, because he only got points on free throws, didn't he?
0 for 5, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Gosh. So yeah. But yeah, no. It was actually kind of crazy. Seeing this because now it's like once Clay comes back and makes things easier for everyone, Warriors might be like a top 3 team in the West. If not just the second. Or whatever. Because really, though, it's like seeing what they've done against a team that will probably end up going to the finals. Like it's insane. So yeah, credit to Stephen Curry, credit to Draymond Green and the Warriors. They've been so good. Lakers though, holy crap. I'm excited for them honestly because I feel like this isn't even their like final form.
Right, and if Clay, you can easily get 20 points from him, but if they would have just had like another guy that could have gotten them 15 to 20 points, they would have won this game. It's kind of the crazy thing. If they would have just had one more guy that's a threat and that consistently, go out there and shoot, like Poole hit some big shots, Juan Toscano-Anderson hit some big shots as well. There were some guys, like Bazemore hit some shots and whatnot, but if they could add another like consistent threat, another all-star like Klay Thompson out there, and maybe some like bench guys like that you brought up last night that maybe good additions, maybe like DeMar DeRozan or like Thaddeus Young, maybe like a true spark plug off the bench, they probably actually win this game. And they're probably back to being the Warriors of old, honestly. Probably
even if they go out and get like a Danny Green, who will be a free agent, I'm pretty sure. It's like even that though is like, yeah, you're probably golden, honestly.
Honestly, really. And then on the flip side for the Lakers, it's kind of funny. I saw this tweet. It was like Frank Vogel. It's like they were comparing the Scott Brooks and Alex Len to Andre Drummond, and like, well, Drummond's a better player, obviously, than Alex Len. It truly kind of is that. He only had 4 points and he played 17 minutes. Like I don't think he really touched. What did he play, like 3 minutes in the second quarter or something, or second half? I don't really remember seeing him out there. Do you?
I think I think halfway through the third, they put in they put him they got him out of the game, which was definitely a smart thing to do. Yeah, no, I feel like people really need to stop overrating Andre Drummond, because he's only really good at rebounding. Other than that, though, he's okay to bad at everything else.
Yeah, I just look at the box score and like their third best player was Alex Caruso, which is fine. Caruso's a good player, but you would expect maybe more from Schroeder. I know he's coming back from the COVID safety protocols or whatever.
Yeah.
KCP had 10, LeBron had 25 and a triple double. Sorry. AD had 25, LeBron had 22 with a triple double. So it's just weird. I'm trying to like look at where the Lakers points stack up, and they really just didn't get a lot of contributions from anyone really.
Yeah, like you said earlier, how if they just had one more guy or what. The thing is, though, Schroeder is that guy. The thing is, though, he had an off night too. I mean, their best player just had an off night,
Right, which happened because it did feel like a playoff game. Like the audio for ESPN, we were kind of clowning on TNT, not off camera or whatever. But really, the audio for ESPN, it's good that the announcers were in the building. You could really feel the energy, and it seemed like a good amount of people were there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The noise was in there, like it was really loud. Felt like a playoff game, especially what we've been used to going from the bubble to this year. What most teams had like 10% capacity for a while. I think the Lakers run was like 50%. I think I saw something like that. So that's good that fans are back in the building. And it was just an awesome game. Like it couldn't have worked out any better for the NBA. Saying they got Steph Curry, LeBron, but like who knew how the game was going to go? And I think I just keep saying it just could not have ended better if you're an NBA fan.
No, yeah, I agree. It's just all around the board, it was just exciting. These young Warriors guys, I mean, it's actually, honestly, it's really awesome that they played really well. Though that's not really something I think many people expected, honestly. I mean, obviously they're not playing like all-stars out there, but they're doing a lot better than I would have thought. Even guys like Kent Bazemore, it's like they're actually, they're producing at a pretty good level.
Right. It really does feel like kind of like the old Patriot way, where you kind of just plug in whoever and they kind of get the maximum production out of everyone. And it's just kind of like, imagine if they had, instead of Kent Bazemore, like, I don't know, just an example. I don't know if he's the best fit out there, like DeMar DeRozan, or like, you just upgrade to like borderline elite or great guard instead of having, Kent Bazemore out there. Or just imagine just even having like Klay Thompson back out there instead of Kent Bazemore. It's just insane. It really kind of seems like that with a healthy Curry and Draymond, that they can kind of put anyone in there. Not that they want a championship, but they can kind of win with anyone and have a good rate. Like the fact that this team is like 5 games over 500 is insane.
Yeah, and honestly though, it's like because at the beginning of the season, it was really, really rough. And so maybe if they had like a like a training camp and all that, though, maybe a bunch of the stuff would have been fixed already.
Right, and they're 1-7 without Stephen Curry. And I think the one game they won, Draymond scored 20 points. He had 19 assists and like 20 rebounds or something like that. Like it took a like bizarre like kind of statistically game for Draymond for them to win. And go back to the Lakers, like they shot it terribly in the first half. Combined, LeBron and AD only had 11 points in the first half. They shot 3 of 19, 0 from 4 from the 3-point line. As a team, they shot 28%. 28% from 3-point line in the first half. 3 of 16 for 8 points. That was Anthony Davis's first half. Their shooting percentages didn't get that much better as a team, saying that they only shot 32% from 3-point line and 40% from field goal. Listen to this, and it's kind of shocked me to see that the Warriors lost, saying that they had a better field goal percentage and a way better 3-point percentage. They shot 44% from the 3-point line and 44% from field goal.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I'm honestly really scared of the Warriors going forward. Because LeBron, I mean, Draymond showed that he can contain AD. And if you get Klay Thompson back, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you can probably really contend with the Lakers, out in the West.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a blessing that we're getting into this a bit later because, like you, I got to reflect on the game and like I didn't really think of this in the moment, but really the Warriors should have won that game if you really look at everything, which is insane because they really only got their points from Wiggins and Stephen Curry. But if just like all the stats and everything say that the Warriors should have won, and kind of the eye test says that too. I kind of feel like the Warriors outplayed them.
Oh yeah, I mean we were watching them though, and it's just like he was hitting every single thing out there, Wiggins, it's like honestly though, that's Wiggins' first team all defense. Honestly, like his defense has been so good, and I just feel like the Warriors really did play as a whole unit. Honestly, even though they probably have less chemistry and all that as compared to the Lakers.
Yeah, and Wiggins did a great job on LeBron. So did Draymond. Did a great job on AD. Was kind of funny. Shout out to Blaine. I think we were kind of all thinking this. He commented when Liam, kind of jokingly picked the Warriors, and I posted it, kind of with no context behind it. Yeah. So he was kind of going at Liam or whatever, saying that the Warriors can't do anything with Lakers size. And honestly, Wiggins and Draymond did a great job on AD and LeBron. Like they kind of they didn't stop them, but they definitely held them to a lot less than I thought, because I thought AD and LeBron were just going to cook in that game.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. And honestly, though, it's like, if the Lakers, if they would have just been a tad bit more healthy and could have been a 6th seed, the Warriors are probably a 7th seed, honestly.
Oh, probably, actually. Yeah, because if they would have been closer to the Blazers than people would have realized. Like their records are they're within 3 games or whatever. Maybe if Curry doesn't hurt his it was his tailbone, right? That he hurt there.
Yeah, it was his tailbone. Honestly, right now, yeah, I would actually take I do believe the Lakers are better than the Blazers and better than the Grizzlies and all that.
Oh, for sure. They're definitely a top team in the West and a lot better than the Blazers and the Mavericks, and you could argue with the Clippers, get some whatever top 4 if you want, because
it's funny too, because against the Clippers though, it's like maybe Steph Curry and Draymond, maybe they actually could beat the Clippers, if they were, if somehow magically they were to face them in the playoffs or
something. Crazier things have happened, especially with Curry. I feel like you always have a shot, especially saying like he shot 6 for 9 from the 3-point line, and it seemed like he like hit more and shot more. It just seemed like how many crazy like 35-footer shots where we were just like, we've seen it for what now, 8 years, 9 years or whatever consistently, and we're just still in shock.
The thing is too is that these shots are like, they're not like normal 3-pointers,
No, and they're just insane. There's like 2 guys around him. Like Dame will hit insane shots, but just nothing. And like Trae Young and other guys, but nothing just compares to like Curry, because he just does that little behind the back and he just gets squared to the hoop and he just fires and he makes it every time with like AD in his face, and like Kuzma's like shoving him to the ground and he still makes it and doesn't get the call. It's just insane what he does shooting wise.
Yeah, definitely insane. Because I mean, like honestly, once he gets some better spacing and Steph Curry can take some like normal 3-pointers, it's over.
No kidding. And I saw this interesting stat. Prior 44 games for Stephen Curry, averaged 30 points per game. He shot 11 3-pointers per game, 25 total field goal shots per game. He only averaged 80 touches per game and had the ball, 5.6 minutes per game. These last 19, he's been averaging 37 points, 15 3-point shots, 24 total field goal shots and whatnot. You would think that his touches and the minutes him having the ball would have gone up during this crazy span. The month of April he had nearly averaging 40, same with May. You would think like his touches and everything went up insanely, but they didn't. He only got 4 more touches per game, and he only had the ball for a minute longer. 6.2 minutes per game, not even a full minute. So it's insane what he can do. And like we talked about, his best attribute might be him off the ball, which is insane because he's such a great, shot creator for himself.
No, yeah, I mean, he's as dangerous off ball as he is on ball,
Which is insane because he has like probably the second or third best handles in the league.
Yeah, I would say second, honestly.
Probably, yeah. So
arguably he's first, really. Like it's really just him and Kyrie, and that's it.
Pretty much, they're definitely 1A, 1B. Either way, I don't think you can get too pissed. However, you have that.
No, yeah. I mean, also when it comes to finishing, honestly, like finishing at the baskets, like Curry, I feel like it's probably one of his most underrated parts. That might be the most underrated part of his game, honestly, his finishing, because he's an elite finisher for sure.
Right, he had that insane reverse layup on Andre Drummond, where he got the and one on him, where he just had him on his hip, went to the left side, and just had that little scoop.
Nothing to Steph.
Right. That was an insane Curry game. He dropped 37. He shot 6 for 9 from three-point line, 12 for 23, 7 for 8. 7 rebounds. He always he finishes with less assists than he should. Like he really should probably average like 10 assists. Like he makes so many insane passes to wide open shooters that just like brick it, or like they take too many dribbles or whatnot. So
that's true. I feel like yeah, I know we've been saying this a lot though, but once Clay comes back though, he'll be getting he'll probably average like 7 assists.
Honestly though, I think that the Warriors are going to be. They were super fun this year and whatnot, and they usually are, but they're definitely going to be fun again with their original big three. Hopefully, staying healthy and being together for a full season next year.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Ready to move on to Spurs Grizzlies real quick.
Yep.
We can hit on that one. This was an interesting game. Like right away, the Grizzlies were up 21 in the first quarter, and I was like, oh, okay, the Spurs, the pace of the Grizzlies, they just couldn't, fight with them. And really the Spurs were just missing a crap ton of wide open shots to begin the game. So it just kind of seemed like one of those games that maybe the Spurs didn't have it. But then in the second quarter, they went on and still didn't get a lead in the game until the fourth quarter, which is insane to go on a 17-0 run and not even have a lead. Jonas Valanciunas was dominant in this game. He looked probably one of his best defensive games he's had in a long time, and he's been very solid defensively this year. He had 23 and 21 rebounds, which is very dominant. Dylan Brooks, 21 points, did a great job on DeMar. Held him 0 with 7 in the first half. Weird DeMar game. Shot 4 of 18, just couldn't get it going. He did shoot 11 free throws, so he did get his 20 points from that. Sorry, he finished 5 of 21, so definitely a weird DeMar game, and I think we talked about this. We kind of expected more from DeMar, just saying because he's been in so many big moments, and he's been fairly clutch this year, in my opinion, so I kind of expected a bigger game from him.
Yeah, it really seems like DeMar just had a bad game, though. I mean, outside of that, though, he's been pretty consistent. But yeah, going back to Jonas Valanciunas, though, yeah, he might be the most underrated big in the league, honestly. Cause he's a really good scorer, like pretty much from everywhere. So yeah, I don't know if he'll stay with the Grizzlies or if he'll go somewhere else. Cause no, his contract expires pretty soon. But yeah, no, great player, honestly. His defense, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can still see why Toronto traded for Marc Gasol, because they needed that. They needed more defense and they needed offense at center, which is cool and fun, But yeah, no, Jonas Valanciunas though, it's like yeah, no, whichever team gets him in the future, or if he stays with Memphis or whatever, though, they'll be very, very lucky.
Yeah, and I was wrong. He scored 23 points and 23 rebounds and 3 blocks, so that's a very good night for him. Plus 26. Dylan Brooks scored 24, had a plus 14, 1 block, 2 steals. We talked about DeMar had a rough game, but Dylan Brooks and kind of the whole Grizzlies, everyone that was switched on to him did a really good job. They kind of knew that he was kind of the one guy that could kill him, and they really did a great job on him.
No, yeah. Dylan Brooks, I know I mentioned this last night, but he seems like one of those like Danny Green type of players, that will just lock up defensively. Go out there and guard whoever though, but can be pretty inconsistent offensively. But tonight it was on for him. I mean, last night, it was on for him, and he really showed up.
Yeah, and this one too was, close. The Grizzlies won 196. The Grizzlies, I think, had half capacity, which it's the FedEx Forum. It's a smaller arena, so that definitely feels like a lot more people and louder in there. Grizzlies are probably the smallest market in the NBA, so good to have their fans back in there and rocking. That game was super loud. It was louder than the Lakers game, actually. So it was good to have those two games that felt like actual playoff games, especially with the pace of the game and the fans and whatnot.
No, yeah. I didn't really notice too much of the audio. I just, especially in highlights and stuff, I'm pretty sure they probably make this stuff quieter. But I bet, usually those smaller market teams will have more intense fans.
Right. Like always the Blazers are a tough place to play. The Nuggets for different reasons, but the altitude and fans and whatnot. Ja had a nice game too, 20 points, 6 assists, and really for him it'll just be the next step, will be that 3-point shot, and I think he'll be able to do it because we talked about it. He has a nice looking shot. Like it's not ugly. It's not like the Westbrook quick trigger, shoots it way too quick and out of control, and sometimes he has bad shot selection. Like you can catch him on the wrong night and be like, ooh, I don't see the hype in this kid. But if you're watching a good amount, you know he can really do some special things with the ball, passing wise, how quick he is, and what he does in the lane. I think that Ja's very, very bright future. They have so many young guys that I like, and they've done a good job of rebuilding on the fly.
No, I agree. The Grizzlies, though, and it's actually kind of crazy because, they're probably gonna, be really good in like 2 seasons ish. Brandon Clark is a really good player. Jaren Jackson Jr. That guy is severely underrated in my opinion. And these other guys obviously Ja, but Dylan Brooks and all that though. I feel like the future is very, very bright for this Memphis team.
I agree 100%. There's so many great young guys. The fact that they're competing for the 8 seed these last 2 years is insane. I think this year we saw it more just because of the jump that they made from last year, but I don't think anyone had them being the 8 seed at the end of the year, basically. I know that the Blazers did in the bubble become the 8 seed and beat them in the play-in and whatnot, but the fact that they've gonna miss the playoffs by 1 game probably these last 2 years, I don't think anyone saw that coming. So good on them. So many good young guys like you're talking about, like Jaren Jackson Jr. Cal Anderson's younger than I thought. Dylan Brooks, Valanciunas. He's a bit older, but John Morant, they've drafted really well. Xavier Tillman, Desmond Bane's already one of the better 3-point shooters. D'Anthony Melton, so underrated. Brandon. You could really just go on down the lineup and roster.
Yeah, D'Anthony Melton is another guy though. That's he's solid playmaker. He's fine offensively. He's really good defensively. It's so. Yeah, no, honestly, this team they're gonna be set here in a few years.
Yeah, and they're a good spot where they could keep their team and compete and add guys in, or they could make a good trade package for a superstar or something, because they have all their picks and actually have other teams' picks and whatnot coming up. So they could definitely swing a trade or two if they when they want to, or just keep their current roster and see how it goes. They're in a really good spot.
No, yeah, definitely. So yeah. And no one's playing today, right?
No, there's a game today. It's Wizards Pacers.
Oh, that's right. You totally forgot. Yeah. Sorry, the West is just so much more exciting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay. So, all right, that's cool. It's yeah. I guess we'll have to watch that then.
Yeah, no kidding. You want to give our quick predictions for that one? Yeah, the East. What a disappointment, but I think this is a tough one because the Pacers looked so good in their game, and the Wizards just didn't look good at all. Westbrook looked, I don't know what was up with him. Beal didn't look great, but I think I'm gonna go Pacers, but I don't know. If the Wizards are healthy, then I would go them.
We just don't know if they'll be healthy.
Yeah, I think I'm going Pacers, but it could go either way. I could see the Wizards killing them or the Pacers killing them. I don't know if it'll be a great game, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going Pacers too, just because they're kind of better like everywhere. I mean, obviously the Wizards have the better duo, but the Pacers have the superior bench and the superior center, power forward, all that stuff. But yeah, the Wizards are healthy, which we don't know if they will be or not. Because if they're just not, though, then Pacers all day.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that I think the Pacers coach is a better coach than Scott Brooks. He's had his problems, but
definitely.
Scott Brooks is kind of a buffoon.
Brooks is terrible. Yeah, no.
Yeah, the fact that like Westbrook and whatnot and Beal have been able to like get this team to not because of Scott Brooks. That Alex Len was actually playing on Tuesday and like more minutes than Daniel Gafford. And like I got rather run Lopez out there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, maybe the Wizards should have gotten Tom Thibodeau, honestly, because I don't think Westbrook and Beal would have minded playing like 40+ minutes a game.
Yeah, I definitely think Brooks is on his way out, unless they make the excuse of, well, he did get they did turn the season around, get to the 8th seed, but I think he's on his way out.
Yeah, we all know that was because of the players.